Okay, guys, I have chapter 8 of Lemons titled Dermal Ridges. An optional assignment for you, if you'd like, is to do an illustration of Tobin, Lemon, and Mrs. Dickerson maybe discussing the Bigfoot. That might be an illustration you want to do. If you'd like to, you can share that with me. Dermal Ridges. I'm sure there are fingerprints to dust this time, Mrs. Dickerson tells us, sliding her cane toward the kitchen in the back of the house. The whole place smells like sugar and cinnamon and nutmeg and peanut butter and fresh brewed tea leaves. It makes my stomach moan. I was in the kitchen here baking, and wasn't I surprised? Turn around and see a Bigfoot staring at me right through the window of all things. He was leaned up right on the sill. She nods to the window, facing the woods out back. When I turned to look at him, he growled at me through the glass. Right here's where I dropped the hot pan of cookies I had made, and I'd just taken them out of the oven. She motions to a small indentation in the wooden floor. Tobin aims his Polaroid and he takes a picture of the dent and takes a picture of it. The camera spits out a photo and he grabs the photo and he hands it to me. Exhibit A, he says. He turns back to Mrs. Dickerson. Then what happened? Well, I had to throw all those cookies in the trash, of course. No, Mrs. Dickerson, with the Bigfoot, Tobin says. Oh, well, the pan had made this horribly loud bang, which must have startled him, because that's when he darted out into the trees. But not before giving the loudest, shrillest scream I've ever heard in all my days. It made the hairs on the back of my neck stand straight up. My goodness, it was something all right. We could check for some prints on the glass of the sill, Tobin tells me, adjusting his chin strap. I sure hope you're right this time, Mrs. Dickerson. You know, I do keep a camera here just in case, but it happened so quickly I didn't get the chance to grab it. Mrs. Dickerson points to the camera hanging on the bookshelf next to the refrigerator. Me and my assistant will go and check out the window in question, and then we'll bring all the evidence back to HQ to further evaluate it. Tobin nods at me all official-like. HQ, I just roll my eyes, and I head out the back door and down the cement steps with Tobin on my heels. That's right, headquarters, he says. He points to the ground just under the kitchen window and takes a picture of it. Grass, but no footprints to cast. I watch him take off his glasses and eyeball every inch of the window. His nose is so close that the breath makes small circles of fog on the panes. Then he carefully sets his leather case on the ground and he unzips it. He pulls out a jar filled with blackish powder and also a big, round paintbrush. I watch him swirl the brush inside the jar of powder and then brush tiny circles along the window and windowsill. The powder smears into a messy grayish cloud all over the glass. I don't think she's going to like you doing that to her window, I tell him. This is how you dust for prints, he says, as he pushes up his glasses with his forearm. No footprints to cast, but there could be finger or palm prints on the window. Bigfoot fingerprints? He sighs, like I'm the biggest dope in the entire universe. The Bigfoot is a descendant of Gigantotherapus, he explains as he swirls the brush. It's a species of giant ape from Asia that is believed to have been extinct for more than 1 billion years. What we know is that the humans have friction skin like fingerprints or dermal ridges that usually go in one direction, and primates have dermal ridges that usually go in another. Plus, they're coarser and wider. I'm dusting to see what type of prints these are, human or non-human prints. Oh, that's all I can think of to say. What do you want me to do? Grab the tape from the case and we'll see if we can lift some fingerprints from the glass. I bend down and I dig through his leather case. There's a movie camera inside. There's a bunch of packets of unused film, extra pens, tweezers, and $1 silver. At the bottom, I feel something else and I pull it out. It's an old picture of some man with reddish-brown curls, and he's leaned up against a silver convertible, and he's holding a baby. Who's this? And I hold up the picture to him. Tobin doesn't even hear me. Now he's examining his grayish, cloudy masterpiece with a magnifying glass that he's pulled out of his back pocket. Hey, who's this? I ask again. Tobin turns a look at what I'm holding in my hand, and then he turns back toward the window. My dad, he says. Oh, is that you with him? I ask. He sighs one of those sighs again. Did you file the tape or not? Sorry, I say, as I put the picture back in and dig down deeper to find a roll of Scotch tape. I don't have a dad, I say matter-of-factly, holding out the tape in his direction. What do you mean you don't have a dad? he asks without taking his eyes off the glass. Everybody has a dad. Not me, I say. Mama told me he didn't want to be a father when I was born. So I guess you could say that technically I don't have one here. He looks at me. The tape? As I hold it towards him. Don't need it. There are no prids to lift. So you don't need the tape? Mrs. Dickerson. Tobin motions through the glass. Just not seeing anything coming back up here. She pokes her head out the back screen door. Well, isn't that a shame? Are you absolutely sure? Pretty sure. He examines the window again through the magnifying glass. I am not finding a fingerprint or a paw print or anything. Well, fiddlesticks. She's disappointed. Tobin shakes his head and drops his hands to his sides. Nope, there's just nothing, he says, looks back up at her in the doorway. My goodness, I hate to have you kids come all this way for nothing. How about some cookies and tea before you leave? I have peanut butter and molasses fresh out of the oven this morning, she says, her wrinkles swallowing up her eyes. That's it for that chapter.